On the day it happens, the Prime Minister speaks about redundancies at Bahamas.
Mobile homes for hurricane victims.
And BTC done it again. This time, the company is helping students in Rum Cay, the Bahamas tonight. The National Report starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
The Prime Minister spent most of the night hoping to make a successful intervention with the China XM Bank in wake of more than 2,000 employees being made redundant at Bahamas today. Good evening, everyone. I'm Chris Saunders. Thank you so much for joining us.
And I'm Charisma Robinson. The layoffs cover a spectrum and levels of jobs at the Bahamian Riviera, from executive positions all the way to line staff. The provisional liquidators say a reduced workforce is being retained to assist in preserving and maintaining the project as negotiations continue. Now, those employees, according to the liquidators, will be paid for outstanding salaries and benefits for the period the provisional liquidators were appointed. Meantime, Mr. Christie says with so much at stake, resolution must come. Clint Watson has the story.
Throughout last evening and this morning, we have been involved in meetings with representatives of the parties and the People's Republic of China.
With more than 2,000 employees now made redundant at Bahamas, Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie says the government's reputation is on the line.
Because I happen to have the responsibility of the reputation of the Bahamas government, and because I am aware of the commitment of the government of the People's Republic of China to ensure that a just outcome comes about in this matter, that I'm speaking with great optimism that notwithstanding the dark clouds that have emerged, they will soon shift, and even those persons who were employed and who faced a sudden difference in their present situation will find that the government of the Bahamas will not desert them.
Mr. Christie, who was addressing a room filled with diplomats at a luncheon he hosted as part of Diplomat Week, says the country must have the ability to withstand shocks like this one, while at the same time dealing with the devastation caused by Hurricane Joaquin. But he drew applause from the diplomats as he anchored his position in a higher power.
We have to, as a country of faith, know that there is also a God. And it is our faith and supreme faith that will always guide, strengthen the belief that the indomitable spirit of the Bahamian people, which has down through the generations always triumphed, will triumph again.
The Prime Minister telling the room filled with diplomats that his deepened faith leads him to believe that in a short time, construction will reconvene. Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.
The jobs lost by more than 2,000 workers at Bahamas was highlighted during this 70th anniversary of the United Nations organization.
The event, central to Diplomatic Week, underway here in the nation's capital. Carla Palmer reports.
I am deeply saddened by the events which unfolded overnight at Bahamas.
Foreign Affairs Minister the Honorable Fred Mitchell says the joblessness of those 2,000 people at Bahamas underscores the important work of the United Nations as subscribed in its charter as the protector of the weak and vulnerable.
Our work while we are on the stage is never done. Our successes are not measured by the signing of agreements, the toasting of glasses, the smiles for the cameras, but how what we do impacts and helps people. I emerge this morning stronger than ever in my view and my belief that I must do all that I can to help those in need. This must be a very sad time for those people and their families. But helping people in need is at the core of the mission of all of us and of the United Nations.
At 70 years old, the United Nations as a body has as its theme a new commitment to action. Minister Mitchell impressed upon member countries to hold steadfast to the organization's core values, inclusive of democracy, rule of law, and the elimination of all forms of discrimination.
We must take care of and not neglect underlying development issues that face the region, lest that benefit be threatened. And we must stop the escalating crime and violence from drug trafficking, human trafficking and smuggling, and juvenile gangs.
Having joined the UN 42 years ago, Minister Mitchell reaffirmed the government's commitment of service for the betterment of the world.
None of what we hoped for ourselves is going to be possible without all of us coming together to make some sweet sounds. We need the United Nations now more than ever.
Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
The reality of the impact of Hurricane Joaquin is now setting in for residents in Rum Cay.
They say their major concern is getting supplies to the island, finding new jobs, and rebuilding their homes. Danilo Ferguson spoke with a number of them yesterday.
Homes destroyed.
I had 3 feet of water in my home. We had to throw out everything. We made things, all over the place.
The livelihood of many compromised.
Oh, lose a couple of little vessels, fishing boats and stuff like that. So, made, small things.
That's your livelihood?
Yes, ma'am.
And the memory of a monster storm they won't soon forget.
I was inside the house, and my house was shaking. I thought it was rocking. I thought the walls just could come down on me.
For these Rum Cay residents and many others, recovery will be long and hard as they have lost everything. 3 weeks after the storm, sofas remain outside where they were carried out by massive sea swells. Beds and ruined appliances are left on the side of the road. Tarps hug homes in an effort to protect the last of their possessions, and residents sit and wait on relief. For Ben Martin, the aftermath of some will hopefully bring about the proper amenities that residents have been agitating for.
You have to charter out of here. There's no service. It'll cost you about $380 to charter one way out of Long Island to here, and add VAT to that, and it also costs you the same to get back. Plus, you got to buy a ticket from there to Nassau. And the water, it doesn't take much to put water here. All the water is salt because all this flooding was salt water. So the wells are salt. So in order to do anything about that, we're going to try to put up a RO system. The 2x6 dock is gone. You can't even build an island on 2x6 dock. Anybody with any common knows that.
Now, Representative for Kit Island, Rum Cay, and San Salvador, Deputy Prime Minister Philip Davis said these concerns are now being addressed.
And so, yes, they should expect and will get a better dock than that was there before. They have a water truck that brings water that has been broken down. I have water and sewage. They were here during the storm. Right after the storm, we're going to find ways and means of hopefully being able to provide potable water to them in the short term. But yet again, a plane just to pick up one person from here to take to Nassau is proving expensive, and efforts will continue.
The Rum Cay residents are hopeful that things will return to normal soon.
And are hoping to help supply appliances and fit in wherever the government may not be able to cover things that are needed here on the island.
So everybody got to do their part right now and try to get Rum Cay back together. Right now I stopped doing my job to help out my community, my people.
Janae Noel Ferguson, ZNS Network News.
Corporate Bahamas continues to lend assistance to hurricane victims. This time, PTC has provided accommodations for students and teachers in Rum Cay. Principal of the Rum Cay All-Age School, Ann Strawn, is thankful for the assistance.
You can't make up time that you've lost, but we will kind of go ahead and, because I honestly don't know, because we've lost everything from the school. So we're in the process of trying to get workbooks back in, all our books were in storage from the school being renovated, and so all that material is gone. And so I guess when we kind of get it sorted out, we're going to have to extend the hours and possibly do the 8 to 3:30 and just try and make it up as best as we can. And maybe some of those breaks, like right now midterm is supposed to be tomorrow, so there's no midterm. My parent asked me about that. They lost them. They had midterm for 2 weeks, so midterm is gone. And my professional days that were supposed to have been coming up, that is gone, so we'll make up some time that way and then possibly be pushed back close. I think they're supposed to get out of school on December 12th. I'm supposed to get on December 18th, so we'll push it, yes, and make up the time that way.
The National Emergency Management Agency is getting assistance in its disaster relief effort from Island Luck CEO Sebastian, who donated 6 mobile homes today. The homes, amounting to some $65,000, come equipped with a bathroom, a kitchen, living area, in addition to bedrooms. As the Southern Islands continue to struggle to recover from the devastating blow they were dealt by Hurricane Joaquin, Bastian says everyone should do what they can to assist those residents who were displaced.
Some of the people can now come outside of shelters where they're sharing with 20 and 30 people and have a little place to call home for right now. I want everybody else to come in, lend a helping hand. You want to do a donation, donate a home. I mean, it's only about $7,000. If you could just write a check the name of $7,000, that would put one more family in another house. And what's great about these homes is that as we rebuild the Southern Islands, if we quickly finish the repairs on one house, we can just pull these trailers to another displaced family, and then so it's a recycling model as well. So it's not like these are permanently stationed where they are. So that's another good factor that these have.
NEMA Director Captain Stephen Russell and Barbara Burrows with the Department of Social Services were on hand to accept the mobile homes, which they say will mean a great deal for residents who would have lost all of their possessions during the storm. The homes are expected to be delivered as early as next week, and Russell says NEMA has transferred $200,000 to purchase another 17 trailers.
We've had a tour of the homes already, and they're fantastic homes from going into the islands that have been impacted. The persons who will receive them or will live in them, they'll be excited about what they receive in the interim while we seek to repair or rebuild their homes. But again, we are truly appreciative on behalf of the government for what he's doing in these times to help us bridge the gap as we go into our relief and recovery program full force as of next week.
Many persons are still living with relatives. Some have had to relocate to New Providence. But these will be a wonderful gift for persons where they will be able to reside until their homes are either rebuilt or repaired.